I love video games, and I know the importance of certain video game series to people's lives. Like, I absolutely love FIFA, being a football fan. Like, I'm wearing a football shirt right now, a jersey. However, others will absolutely swear by a certain basketball game. It's NBA 2K14. Obviously, it's not only on one console, it's on multiple consoles. And is it worth the hype? How is it for a non-basketball fan to play it? How does it stand up in terms of graphics on the next-gen console? We're testing it on the PS4, by the way. It is time, my friends, to find out all about B-Ball. Boom!
Yo, this is it, fellas. Time to play our game. We gotta go out there and take it. Okay, you feel me? Let's do this.
Oh, I'm excited about the game that you can see right there. The man on the front cover, I'm sure you know who he is. Even if you're not a big fan of sports, his name is LeBron James. He is one of the superstars in sport around the entire world, even if you're not a basketball fan. Now, disclaimer, I'm not really a huge basketball fan. I'm much more of a football, or as they would call it in America, soccer fan. And, you know, I play a lot of FIFA, and EA seems to make some very, very entertaining games indeed. Now, a few years ago, in 2006, around that time, when the Xbox 360 came out and, you know, the PS3 came out, the benchmark for graphics for me was Fight Night. That was really, really fantastic. It looked so real at the time, and I was like, wow, this has blown me away. However, this is that equivalent for the next console generation. Yes, this is out for PS3 and also Xbox 360, but we are currently reviewing the PlayStation 4 version, and of course it's also out for the Xbox One. So it's across pretty much all the consoles out there, and there's plenty of fun to be had with this, the game which I consider the benchmark for graphics. I mean, if there was one game that's come out on all of the consoles, and you're walking across your living room and you see something out the corner of your eye, supposing your friends play it, you probably think that you're actually watching the television. I mean, it is that good. For example, they said that about 80%, 80 of the players in the NBA had their faces scanned. Now, obviously, the high-profile players like LeBron James are just eerily accurate. Some of the lesser-known players may look a little bit more robotic, not quite as clean, not quite as realistic. But wow, when it comes to the Kobe Bryants and Dwayne Wades, you would think you're actually watching something real. It is astounding. However, a game is not just about graphics. There's a whole lot more to it. This one has plenty on offer.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
If you've ever played an NBA 2K game before, you would know that there's a whole myriad of features attached to it. The gameplay is so tight, it's really precise. And there's not too much of an overhaul here. Obviously, the graphics are on a completely different level to, well, the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. But apart from that, there's not too many changes. Now, just a quick mention, there's a mode here which I haven't been able to play because I don't have the PS3 or the Xbox version. It's like a future career mode for LeBron James. It's not available on the next-gen consoles, but effectively you're playing out a career of what might happen to LeBron James, including going back to the Cavaliers, facing off against Dwayne Wade for other teams, etc., etc. Think of it as the Michael Jordan career mode from NBA 2K11, I think. That one, you obviously played all of Jordan's career, all the highlights of it. This one is a tweak on that with a current player, but looking more to the future. Now, what other modes? Well, obviously you can just have a quick game, just play any team you want, play against whoever you want. Maybe you want to go into My Career mode or the My GM mode. Now, this one is quite exciting for me because in My GM mode, you're obviously the general manager, but it's more in-depth than what we've seen before in the past. You're conversing with other GMs out there. You have to deal with the players' egos, which obviously is no easy task ever. Run out the contracts, and you know, little things like the stadium ticket prices, etc. It creates something really fun, another thing to do within the game as well, and it's an improvement on modes that we've seen in the past. Now, My Career mode, well, it's a little bit cheesy in some parts. You start off on like draft night and you build up a rivalry with someone out on the open air court, and following that you'll go to the NBA, and then that same person you had a rivalry with will be carried on to that. and obviously you build up your career. I still think there's a lot of tweaking to be done in that sense, especially for the next-gen consoles, but obviously in the past we've seen that as each iteration comes out and developers get more comfortable with the next-gen series, that's when we start seeing some really, really exciting things. But the crucial thing about this, what about the gameplay? All I can say is the gameplay is fantastic. It really, really is just amazing. I mean, I'm not a big basketball fan, like I touched on, but even I have to say, wow, this makes me want to watch basketball. This makes me want to wake up. I think it's like 8 a.m. the matches are here, etc. And I want to enjoy the game itself. It's really just drawn me into the sport. Everything is so tight, so precise. There's a new assist pass and other controls you can throw in, and it's just fun in general. Not too overworked from what we've seen in the past because the game was already great. This is just the next evolution. However, because it looks so realistic, because some of the gameplay elements are just incredible, I mean, the way LeBron James's face is, it's just like you're watching a real game, how he reacts, etc. Sometimes you'll notice like how the ball reacts. Physics, I mean, the simple concept of physics becomes more apparent because the rest of the game is just so real. Sometimes the way it bounces is like it's gone into glue. Sometimes it's more like a ping pong ball just flying about like that, and it really creates a great contrast to everything else. However, don't think it happens in every game. You might see it once or twice over a couple of hours of playing the game. So, I mean, it's not very common, but it's not exactly rare either. And obviously, perhaps in the future, some patches could come out to help to relieve that issue. But apart from that, I can't really say too much that's bad about the gameplay. It is that nice, it is that perfect, it is that realistic. Barring a couple of concepts of physics which go array with the ball, this is basketball as it should be in real life. It is stunning. Now, you're probably wondering about the online modes, etc. It's really cool. You can go out to the My Park area. You can see other games happening. You can sit down and watch. You can do 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5. And 3-on-3 is probably the most fun to be had because everyone really gets involved. 5 versus 5 can be a little bit chaotic, and 2 versus 2, but I don't think it's quite enough. But 3-on-3, plenty of fun there if you're really into basketball. Now, one gripe I have is that in-game you can't like set up your own little clan, etc. You have to do everything set up on your friends list outside of the game, then jump in. Can be a little bit annoying in that, but generally online play, as with FIFA, plenty of fun to be had in that mode because there's so many things, and playing another human is obviously a huge, huge part of the game series. This is just, simply put, a fantastic game. There's another NBA game that's come out next gen as well. Can't compare those two. It's apples and oranges in the sense that this is amazing. The other one, it's not amazing. Let's just put it that way. If there's one NBA game you have to get, it's not NBA Live, it's NBA 2K14 for the next gen console. There's some differences in terms of the gameplay modes, like the LeBron James, what happens in his future, which is not available on the next gen series and is on current gen. But this is just so astounding. I've had an absolute blast playing this. And this is coming from a non-basketball fan. Just the graphics alone, it's a huge advert for the next gen series because it looks stunning. I cannot stress that enough. You can probably see it for yourself. It's almost real-like. It's almost perfect in that sense. And it really is the benchmark so far for me in terms of realism. It's definitely one of the best sports games I've played. Again, remember, I'm a football fan. I'm saying this about a basketball game, and it just blew my mind, let's put it that way. Plenty of online play, offline play, different modes you can try out, and perhaps while it's not a 10 out of 10 just yet, perhaps next year or the year after that, we will have something even better. For now, I'm quite happy to settle for this, quite happy to play as a GM, quite happy to play as my own player, or just hop in for a very quick game against some of my favorite teams in a sport which I'm just getting to know right about now. This one, NBA 2K14, I would say is a 9 out of 10 for me. If you've got a next-gen console, this is worth checking out. If not for the gameplay, then just the graphics alone. It is that nice. And thus, another episode of Gadget Nation comes to an end, but don't worry, we'll be back same time, same place next week for all of your technology and gadget needs. That I can promise you. In the meantime, find us on Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube, as one of my friends likes to say. And my name is Adam Carruthers. Till next time. Whee!